some reasons best known that I cannot share publicly. I mean, he's not here to defend himself. So even if I said what we agreed or what we did not agree, he's not here to defend himself. So I would rather not talk about them. We agreed with Genius. We went our separate ways, but we remained, which is why we remained friends. He came to my house whenever he wanted. He had a very good relationship with my kids. Sometimes I would come home, I would find him having lunch or having dinner with the girls. They loved him to bits, especially the younger girl. My younger girl, Melissa, was, I think, 5 years when I started dating Genius. So literally, Genius is the father that she knew, is the father that brought her, which is why she calls her dad. You know, being a father to somebody doesn't mean you're a biological father. You can be a father because you've raised the child up. Genius raised Musi up for me. He was there when Musi was a baby until now she's 19 years of age. And the only father that she really know is Genius. Fine, she has a biological dad who is in England, but Genius was always there. Genius knows Musi even precious more than their biological father. I know many people say the biological father is dead. He's not. He's alive. He's in England there. He's there in England. He did not pass away. He is much alive.
Okay, Zodwa, I mean, we all knew Ginimbis as a playboy. I mean, that is something. I mean, for his age, he was still growing up. He's someone who really wanted to have fun. How did you deal with his many girlfriends?
To be honest with you, I never met one girl of Genius. I heard he had girlfriends. People told me, we've seen him with this one, we've seen him that one. He had too much respect for me. He would never bring the girlfriends in front of me. He would never flaunt them in front of me. If I met up with him with a girl, the girl was either Kitty's or Brian's or Dino's or Rimo's. It was never his girlfriend. And the girlfriends, I don't know whether I can say it's stupid of them, because I would never allow my men to introduce me to their woman as somebody else's girlfriend. I would never allow that. But for them, they did. They allowed that to happen. Even when I separated with Genius, if any time I went to his house, if there were girls there, they would be sneaked out. He would hide them. I would never allow that to happen. So with me, he never showed me that side of him. I knew he was a player, but I never caught him red-handed. That I knew that my man, I need to have a strong heart. I was supposed to have a strong heart. I had a strong heart. Genius played. He enjoyed playing. He enjoyed partying. He enjoyed his life. I'm sure he actually has no regrets because there's nothing he did not do under this earth. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that Genius did not do. He traveled the world. He played the most. He did everything that he wanted to do. But with Zodwa was always a wife. She must stay at home. The only place he would take me to is restaurants. We go and eat. That's all he did. Or we go to church together. That's all I was good for. He would tell me, you want to go clubbing? I only go to the club with bitches. Excuse the language. That's exactly what Genius would talk. So he went with the bitches to the club. The wife stayed at home. Those were his words.
Wow. Okay. Zodwa. So did you ever have like any girls calling you or stressing you that we are dating Ginimbis and stuff?
Never.
You know how girls act.
They never. No one ever called me, and I also never called them. I mean, I would never reduce myself to their levels. Never ever. I'm a woman of very high status. I value my life so much. I value myself. I love myself. I would never reduce myself to the levels of the girls that he dated.
All right, Zodwa, and then there's an issue of people saying that Ginimbis had a snake that was vomiting money. What can you say about that?
I really wish that was true.
Zodwa, if he did, please, I need you to tell me where
I really wish, like right now, I really wish he had that snake because I will inherit it. It would vomit that money for me. But I mean, look, if a snake can vomit money, Josie, it means I must not put as much work as I'm putting now. Because I've got easy money that just come. A snake will just vomit. I just pick the money. I go and buy a Louis Vuitton. I buy an LV shoe. I buy Gucci. I buy whatever I want. Because it's easy money. But Genius was a hard worker. That boy did not sleep. He worked throughout. Genius will go to Zambia to go and buy gas. He will go to Congo to look for new business ventures. He went everywhere. He will go to Mozambique. He went everywhere. As far as I knew him, Genius would leave me. He lived between Zimbabwe and South Africa. I would go to South Africa. I never saw anything amiss in his house. Anything that showed that Genius had a snake. If he had a snake, it meant I knew about the snake. Because if he then went to South Africa and left me in Zimbabwe for a month, I needed to feed the snake. Otherwise, the snake would feed on me. So I never came across that snake, if ever it was there. Even if I went to South Africa, I never saw the snake. So I don't know where these people... And the problem with us Africans, an African person can never be wealthy because of hard work. You have to have had juju or something that makes you rich. Yet, if Genius was white, I don't think anyone would be talking about juju or snakes or anything. He was just a hard worker who enjoyed his life, who enjoyed his money, who enjoyed his fun. That was Genius for you. Snakes, I don't know nothing about them. There's so many snakes in Zimbabwe. Those that say he had a snake that vomited, go and get your own snake and make it vomit money for you. And see if you'll be able to get the money that is coming out of a python and use that money. I don't think anyone can stand a snake. No matter how small or how big, no one can stand a snake. People will run away from snake. Let alone stay with a snake in the house. How can one stay with a snake in the house? It's not possible. The guy was just a hard worker. That's all he was. He was not perfect, but he was a hard worker. And no one is perfect anyway.
Absolutely true, Zodwa. And some people also wanted me to ask you if you know about Genius's relationship when he was still alive with his father. Was his relationship with his father perfect?
Well, I never saw anything wrong with the relationship with the father. It was like his father and son relationship. He would go in. They didn't stay in the same house. Daddy stays about, I think, 100 meters, 100, 200 meters away from from Genius' house. So they saw it. Genius had time for himself and he put his friends first before everyone else. But that did not mean that he did not love his family. He loved his family. He had a strange way of showing it, but he loved his family. He had a good relationship. Daddy had he's got his own gas business that he was running or that he is running. He was also fond of football. Sundays he played football, a football club that Genius sponsored. It was Pioneer Gases. So I don't think that he had a bad relationship with his dad.
Okay, and now let's talk about the estate, Genius estate. We saw that he left.
And I am not. Let's correct one thing. It's been all over social media that Zodwa is claiming his estate. He wants to take the house. He wants to do this.
That's why we have this platform to clear all these issues.
I do not want to take Genius' house. As much as the house is mine, I lived with that guy for 10 years. And by the rules of Zimbabwe, if you live with a man for 6 months, automatically married or not married, you become married. So whatever you acquire together, you are supposed to share 50-50. Genius, we built that house together from scratch. The first brick, we put it in together. At that time, Genius was staying with me in my Highlands house when we built in that house. We built it from day one until it was finished. I don't want anything to do with the house. Yes, Genius' last wish, he wanted that house to be turned into a hotel. I support that 100%. I'm going to make sure that comes to pass. I'm going to assist the family to make sure that that hotel is a success and we advertise, we market it. I run a travel agency. So through Travel, we're going to make sure that we market the Domboshawa mansion to become the hotel that Genius wanted it to be. I'm not claiming anything there. I don't want anything to do with Genius' house. As much as I'm a part owner, but I don't want anything to. I've got my own properties. I've got my own house, which is equally as big as the Domboshawa mansion, which Genius himself built. He helped me build my house. So I've got no reason to want to get his house when he's dead, when I could have gotten it when he was alive. So that is... Whoever thinks I'm going to do that, they've got something wrong. There's something wrong with them. We've never discussed the house, either with his family or myself with my friends. I've got no intentions whatsoever. My intention is to make sure I support Juliet, Nelia, and Baba to make sure that everything that Genius owned, his legacy lives on. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to help them, assist them whenever they need me. They can call on me anytime. We have got no beef. We're very close, actually. Genius or not Genius, we've got our own bond that we've always had over the years, that Genius made possible. So I've got nothing against anybody, especially his immediate family.
All right, Zodwa, and we also want to talk about Remo's relationship with Ginimbi. I'm touching on all the issues, the nitty-gritties, the rumors, the gossip, social media. Some people are saying that now Remo is going around collecting Ginimbi's debts. Remo, he was behind what happened.
Collecting Ginimbis what?
This, Remo that.
He's collecting what?
Ginimbi, people that are owing Ginimbi. He's going around collecting people that are owing Ginimbi, like collecting debts.
No, that's not correct. As far as I know, I speak to Remo almost every day. Remo, in his own capacity as Remo, he has never once mentioned who owes Ginimbi, who doesn't owe Ginimbi, or I'm going to collect this or collect that. If he was collecting anything, it would be for the good of Genius Estate. But I've never had Remo one day telling me that I have to go and collect this from this person. Remo was working together with Genius at the Dreams nightclub, which I think he's still doing that. His interest is to make sure that Genius' dream of dreams lives on. So the people that think, when someone is gone, people will say so many things. We love Remo so much. Remo is because of the same Remo that we had a body also to bury. Genius could have also perished, like all the people that perished in that accident. It's God that protected Genius' body so that we had something to remember him with. So saying Remo is doing these things behind our back, that is not correct. It is actually not right. Those people that are saying these malicious talks about Remo, please, you must stop. We are still mourning. The same Remo is mourning. Remo was living with Genius in the same house. Remo stayed with Genius, drove with Genius. He was literally with Genius 24/7. He was the first person to arrive at the accident scene because he was driving behind Genius. So for people to think that Remo would go around collecting whatever Genius had out there, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And I've not heard of anybody out of Genius friends that has gone out there claiming that Genius was owed this, I'm collecting or I'm representing. As far as I know, whoever owes Genius, they're supposed to come to the family or go to the executor and say whatever they owe Genius and pay it to the executor or approach the family. As far as we're concerned, no one has done that to date. So it is wrong for people to think that Remo is doing that.
All right, Zodwa, let's talk about Genius' funeral. The way Genius was mourned, I think it's still talk of the town. It is still talk of the town. The guy was mourned, Zodwa. I mean, kudos to you, his friends. It's so shocking how many people came out to mourn Genius. A lot of people on the streets. I remember talking to you a day after the burial. You're telling me that it took you guys 5 hours to get to Lobosha from the city. So was this Genius money that you guys used to bury him for his funeral, or what happened?
All his friends and my friends came together. Genius was a people's person. And all the friends that loved Genius, friends of Ginimbi, they came together and put money together to bury Genius. We were not about to start asking the relatives or the people that were working Genius that, oh, please just give us money to bury Genius. He was a people's person. Ginimbi would have done the same thing for any of his friends if they were to pass away. He would have brought people together, collected money from friends, people will contribute and they would bury that person. So the same thing happened to Genius. All his friends came together, all my friends, we all came together, put money together, and we did not want any penny from the family, not that they could not afford, but because we felt Genius was our person as friends. He was our person. We wanted to give him a befitting burial. What he would have wanted. Genius was a very flamboyant guy. Genius wanted the light, the beautiful things in life, the finer things of life. That's what he wanted. So we are the ones who knew exactly what he would have wanted. So that is why the friends took over. We asked for permission from the family if we could do it. The boys bought him a coffin from South Africa. He loved Versace, as you all know. His coffin was a Versace coffin. It came from South Africa. And people say that he bought his own coffin before he died. That's not correct. That coffin was bought by Genius friends from South Africa. Then it was brought into Zimbabwe. And Dove's funeral services came through for us. They assisted us in a very great way. And, it was, as much as we were mourning, but all the friends made it easy for us to bury Genius.
All right, Zodo, and did you and your friends or maybe the family compensate the other families or the fatalities, also the Bonda fit that Genius had an accident with?
I think, as far as I know, I was busy mourning, but I know that money was sent to Moana's family. I'm not sure about the Mozambican family. I'm also not sure about the guys in Malawi because I was not communicating with them. But I was told that some money was sent to Highfields, to Moana's family. So I don't know much. I can't speak for those, but I know Genius friends were talking to the families, to all the families. So I don't know to what extent. I can't say in figures how much was given out, but I know, especially for the Moana girl, they were given something by the family.
Okay. So you have a lot of friends, Zodwa. I mean, we cannot conclude this without mentioning, we spoke about this earlier on. Who exactly is that your friend that would be like Remo? I mean, we will all die. We are all in the departure lounge. We're just waiting for our different dates. Who is that friend that would be like Remo and Kit Kat for you?
I've got a BFFL. I call it my BFFL, my best friend for life. Her name is Danya Kabwebwe. She's a very good friend of mine. We've been friends forever. She's one person that I know that if anything was to happen to me today, she'll leave everything she's doing and she'll come and be there. We've got a group called the Rich Cousins. The Rich Cousins there's about 14 of us. Those are the girls that came, that were with me from the time Genius was pronounced dead. They were with me at the accident scene. They were with me at the funeral. They were with me from day one until Genius was buried. There's Tandy, there's Belinda, there's Craig. There's so many of them. There's Nobukosi, there's Marvelous. There's so many of them. There's Zari in South Africa. There's Esther. Look, I've got so many friends. But all those friends, I know they'll drop what they're doing and come and be with me or be with my kids should anything happen to me. But the first person that I know, if something happened to me today, my kids will pick up the phone. Auntie Danya, this is what has happened. My kids will do that. Auntie Zari, this is what has happened. Auntie Tandy, I know all my friends, if they were called, they'll be there for me. But best friend for life, Danya Kabwebwe.
Okay, so and Zodwa, if someone it's too late for us to talk about Ginimbis gone. But I mean, you were with Ginimbi from the time he started. You told me that you met Ginimbi. I don't want to say when he had nothing, but you grew. Ginimbi grew with you. So there are some guys. I mean, there's so many guys out there that want to learn or to know how Ginimbi did it. How did Ginimbis really do it, Zodwa? How did he become that billionaire, rather? I mean, how did he survive that lavish life?
Ginimbis was a hustler. And Genius liked the finer things in life. Hence his hard work. He worked so hard. So much that sometimes you will feel sorry for him. You'll come home so tired because you will be working 24/7, thinking of new ideas. We must do this. If I do this, maybe this will happen. Let me try this. He started working. When I met him, he was running Pioneer Gases. That's what he was doing. That's his first love. So that's what he did first, and this is what he was still doing up to today. Then he started doing other businesses. He started doing petroleum, selling fuel. This was a business that he was doing when he was living in South Africa, bringing fuel to Zimbabwe, taking fuel to South Africa. He then bought a company in Botswana, I think in 2013, 2014. He was selling gas there in Botswana as well. So he's always been a hustler, wanting to do different things that were going to make him the person that he wanted. The public knew Ginimbis, but they didn't know what he had to do to make that name stick. He always wanted the whole world to know that Ginimbis, the money boy, Ginimbis, this lifestyle, everything was about his lifestyle. Everything was about how he lived his life. That's what he did. So he never wanted to fail. he also never wanted to lack anything. As much as when I met him, he was also starting his business. I had also just started mine. Mine was 3 years old when I met him. I started Traverse 2003 and I met Genius 2006. My business maybe grew faster than his business. So whatever money I made, I would help him. There was times when I would be down, then he would be up. He would give me money. We would work together. You know, it was always whose business is doing better at that particular time, and we will bail each other out. That was how we managed, or he managed to build his empire.
I'm just reading comments here. So people are asking how can they also join the Rich Cousins group?
The Rich Cousins, it's not possible to join. You know what happens, how it came about. We've got the 14 friends. So what we do is we give each other money on our birthdays. There's a certain amount, like a subscription that we give when, like, for example, it's my birthday. Everyone, the 14 of us will bring a certain amount of money each. It's the same amount for everyone. So that money it's like a birthday gift. Others will still buy birthday presents over and above that. Normally, we would travel outside the country, a destination of choice. We buy our own tickets, and then the birthday person would either do the dinner or whatever they decide to do, a party on the actual birthday. So we sponsor ourselves in everything except for the actual birthday. That's when the owner of the birthday will either do a dinner or do a party for us. I don't think we've got room for more people in the group. Sorry.
Don't say that. That is so mean.
No, but there's another group for the poor cousins that was trying to start. Maybe we grow them from. Those are the ones that we're mentoring. So we'll mentor them, then they'll graduate into the Rich Cousins.
You really made me laugh. Okay. So there's a story. I really wanted to avoid this, but it keeps coming up. Did Genius have a child?
Okay, up to the time of his death, none that we know of. There's only one that we knew of, which we both looked after because we had taken that child in with Genius. We thought the child was his child, but we did a DNA, and the DNA was negative. It was all over the newspapers. I'm sure those that read newspapers, they know about that. So not that we know of. Genius never had a child. I know they say there's a child in South Africa, and that child that they put in South Africa who said, why did you leave me there? That's my daughter. That Genius was wearing a red thing and with a young girl holding him like this. That's my daughter that was holding Genius. That's the child that they've given a name, Tatenda, or whatever name they've given that girl. That's Melissa. That's my daughter. So biologically, no. But yes, he raised my kids.
Yeah, but there's something you told me before the interview. You said if anybody thinks they have Genius kids,
they must come along. They must bring the kids. We'll do a DNA. Mm-hmm. They must bring the kids. If they have, you know what? If anyone has a child for Genius, like, I'm sure, well, I don't know, they wouldn't approach me, maybe because they wouldn't approach me, maybe they would approach the family that they have a child. But yes, let the child come. But yes, a DNA is awaiting whoever thinks has a child with Genius. Fortunately now, you can do a DNA with the father, you can do a DNA with the sisters. So that can happen. I would not allow anyone to come and claim Genius legacy because they think their child is Genius' child. Because automatically, if someone is Genius' child, automatically they have to claim Genius legacy. We've got no problem with giving them what belongs to their dad, but the DNA must come first.
Someone says Ginimbis was married before you. Where is that woman? She was really sick in 2014.
She's very well. She's alive. I know her. I've met her. And she's not sick at all.
Okay. And someone says, is Pokelo part of the Rich Cousins?
No. No, she's not. Pokelo is a daughter to me. So she's not. Her mom is a big sister.
Okay, and what is your relationship like with Zari and Diamond Platinum?
Zari is a very good friend of mine. She's based in South Africa with Diamond Platinum. I'm the godmother to Zari and Diamond's children. I met Zari way before she before she dated Diamond Platinum, when she was still married to Ivan, who then passed away. And then, but I think they divorced when she met Diamond, and they started dating. And then Tifa came along, then Prince Nilan came along. So we have a very good relationship with both of them, both Diamond and Zari. They are family.
And so people are saying Ginimbis is gone, Zodwa, can we hook up? Oh, I have a lot of guys for you here.
Give them my number. But I'm still mourning though, so.
So you guys, she's still mourning. I mean, she's a widow for a while, so you just inbox me and I'll give you her numbers. Anyway, thank you so much, Zodwa. I think we've tried to clear the air and answer all the questions. It's been a very good chat, and my very deepest condolences. I mean, this is the millionth time I'm saying this to you, that you had to lose Ginimbis. I know how tight you guys were. I mean, I used to come and eat maguru and sada. You know how you people would.
Yeah, he was a traditional man. He loved his traditional food, so he didn't eat these salads, the pizza. He actually never ate pizza. He would not eat pizza because he didn't understand what pizza was. So he would eat his maguru, his matumbu, his mabonzo, and his sadza. That's all he ate. So, and his rice in the evening. He loved rice and chicken at night. But during the day, weekends, everyone who came home to visit, they knew that on Saturday we'll cook 20 kgs of mabonzo. And from lunch hour until 5 p.m., whoever came, there was enough for everyone. He was a people's person. His house was always packed with people. Hence, this number of people that came for his funeral.
So people are asking, Zodwa, how old are you?
I'm 48, proudly 48, to be 49 in February, and 50 in 2022. And I'm throwing a massive party in Dombo Shower Mansion Hotel.
Yay! That's good.
And the white parties are going to continue, by the way, as a memory to Ginimbis. 10th of October every year, we'll try to make sure that we always have something going on at the mansion in memory of Genius.
Okay, and amongst Genius friends, do you see anybody who's going to continue his legacy of, Ginimbis, my life, your TV, Champopo? He was just...
You know what? Even if anyone tried to do it, I don't think it will be the same. So I'm sure they'll be posting videos to remember what he used to do and all that. I don't know. Let's watch the space and see. But the close friends of Genius, they were not as loud as he was. So I don't think any one of them will be able to do it. But you never know.
And the white parties were not a ritual or some sort of...
Never a ritual. Those white parties started in 2010. I was there when the first party happened. There were no rituals. It just was white party because he wanted to dress in white, and he wanted something that that was said, this is what Ginimbis started, which is the white parties. So they were never about any rituals. It's people don't want to listen to people that have something of their own. It's like me at Travel every year. I've got parties that I do.